Welcome back to the latest episode of Platform Podcast. Today's guest is Dan Robinson. Dan is originally from the UK. More accurately, he's from London, and I interviewed him about, God, at least 10 years ago for the Wheel Scene print edition, which is long dead now. RIP. At the time, he was riding for Loco Skates, and since that time, he's picked up a few more sponsors. He was sponsored by Adapt and came very close to having a pro skate. In fact, there was a prototype floating around, but unfortunately, things didn't work out. I made another video about that. I'll put a link in the description. We're not going to cover that because we've already covered it in great detail, and Dan's already spoken about it, so I don't see the point in going over it again. Right now, he is currently riding for Loco Skates, Red Eye Wheels, and T-Neck. T-Neck are about to release a new UFS skate, which is really exciting. I think it's about to be announced at the end of this month or next month. On top of that, he has been flying around the world competing at events in Asia, America, Europe. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's competed at a Blading Cup in every continent that Blading Cup have held an event. And last year, he won a real street event in France. On top of that, he is constantly on social media, putting out new clips, putting out edits. He puts in a lot of work into making proper Instagram sections as opposed to just dropping singular clips. And he's also been putting out full street parts on YouTube. In fact, he recently had one that was filmed and edited by Andy Plumridge, hope I'm not getting that wrong, who is an Australian filmer and editor who also runs Parallel Collective. So there is loads to talk about. What I've find out why he relocated to Australia, apart from the fact that it's got significantly better weather than the UK. I'm pretty sure he works as a tree surgeon as well. So what I find out about that, how he's managing to sustain his lifestyle out there, his kind of motivation to keep going around the world and competing, because it's got to be costing him more money than he's actually getting back in any kind of prize winnings. So it definitely seems like something he's doing for the passion more than to try and kind of make money or make a name for himself. And generally just get caught up. We have hung about quite a few times over the years. He has family that live in Scotland, so he skated street with us at least once or twice over the years. He had clips in the last full-length Wheel Scene video, Footwork, and I bumped into him at various events, and we always get along very well. So hopefully this will be a continuation of that. I'm going to stop rambling on now. Cue the music. There we go.
What's up? Yeah,
I was a bit worried you weren't going to have audio there.
No, I'm good. We're here. We're doing it.
How we doing?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, pretty good.
I can't believe you never wore your oh God, what's it called? What I always think it is whenever I see it. What's that Migos song? Versace, your Versace shirt.
Oh no, yeah, I haven't got my Versace shirt on today, but I was dressed pretty fancy yesterday. All my glad rags are hanging up again now. Just in the Central Coast, we were at Josh Nielsen's wedding yesterday.
He got married? No way.
He did indeed, yeah.
Right, okay.
So that's why I'm in this funky location. I'm in a motel down the street.
I thought he was living in Sydney now.
He was living in Sydney, yeah. He's moved to Central Coast. It's just like a bit north of Sydney.
Right, okay. Fair enough. Right, I've had a phenomenal weekend so far. So
yeah?
No pressure, but I went to see the Deftones on Friday night. My friend gave me a half-price ticket. They were phenomenal. It's one of my favorite bands of all time. Denzel Curry was supporting, which made it even better. Uh, then this morning, got up at 6 a.m. and went skiing for 7 hours in Scotland.
Wow.
You don't get to do that in Scotland ever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like anytime we get snow, it rains pretty much instantly and just washes it all away. Or you
Yeah,
get a
it's
storm.
slushy. You
Yeah,
like
you
you
get a
don't
storm and it
get
just
it
blows
doesn't
away.
stay.
This was like the most perfect conditions ever. The most runs ever were open at the resort. Ended up bumping into rollerbladers from England on the chairlift. They were like,
What?
"You're that wheel scene guy." I was like, "This is random." Okay. Um, Chris Goldie made an appearance. I've never skied with him ever because we're both dads and our schedules never align. Yeah, so no pressure, Dan. But
Great.
I'm
Big
expect
things.
I'm expecting
All
a
right.
continuation.
Okay, let's keep it going then, I hope.
So first bit of excitement, you're riding for Teaneck.
Yeah.
What do you
I
mean? Yeah,
guess.
you've been riding the skates for like over a year,
Yeah, a couple years, yeah. So, I mean, since they came out pretty much, yeah.
right?
Um
Why did you? Are you not official? Is that what you're telling me now? You're not official,
yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really know, it's one of those things. It's yeah. It's like there's a bunch of us that skate in the skates, obviously. And I love the skates. Since they came out, I tried them out and um, had a few skates to try at that exact time. I got sent three different skates.
I remember you skating factions really briefly as well.
Yeah, so like that was before, and then I couldn't make those work. Uh, and Oh yeah, but 2 years ago, I basically got sent three different sets of skates to try all at the same time.
What were
Um,
the other ones?
Echo,
Right?
T-neck, and Cougar.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
actually,
not gonna
I feel bad. That feels really shit laughing, but yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna put them in any order. I'm not gonna throw shade at anybody or whatever. Like it would just what happened was it's just kind of like a Cinderella slipper thing with the T-neck, and I
Okay.
was like, oh, like this is it. Like there's no problem. Like I tried the other two for like a day, and then the day that I tried the T-necks, I was like, oh well, doesn't none of the other stuff matters anymore. Like because they just work that good.
I mean, if you've
Um,
ever skated any rollerblades from the '90s and you have an affection for that style of skate, you're gonna like the T-neck because it feels like every other skate from the '90s with the added
yeah,
bonus of being like updated and having like
yeah.
a better sole plate and
I mean, they just suit my style of skating. I think like they're just super light. The fit, which is the most important thing, um, for me anyway. Like they fit perfect, in the small. Whereas, and like before, there's been other things I tried before, like Mesmers that don't fit me because the small's too big and the extra small's too small. So, you get into that funky sizing thing. But yeah, they just fit really good out the box and they're light, zippy, like really maneuverable, responsive, and it's just that's kind of how I skate. I'm a bit twitchy and like fast feet kind of stuff. So it's, that's right up my alley.
so
Um,
you're not legit on T-neck, but they're sending skates from America to the other side of the world. Yeah, okay.
no, yeah. So this was, yeah. I guess that was the question you're trying to put me on the spot about. I don't know. You'd have to ask Durant. It's nothing. I'm
Well,
not
how did
here
it
to
come
make that
about then?
make that call.
How was that instigated?
So the first set of them that um, I got from Jake at Loco. Um, he sent them to me, and that was when they first released the 58 skate. Um, And obviously, I loved them, skated them into the bin, and wanted some more. And you know, Duran was nice. He reached out because I posted clips, obviously, and um, he just said, thanks for putting the skates out there, and like, cheers, you're skating sick, and thanks for supporting the thing. And conversation started from there, and then he started sending pairs. So yeah, sent me a bunch of pairs last year, which lasted varying amounts of time.
I was about to say I've seen some of the like the video footage of you skating them, and some of the footage they look like they're hanging off your feet. I don't think anyone's trashed those skates more than you have. Like,
Oh well, like, isn't that what you want?
I
Or
mean,
when you're
I'm not like
creating a
saying,
new skate,
yeah, I'm not
like
saying
you
it's a
want.
bad thing. Like, I mean, I'm obviously bigger and heavier than you, and I managed to wear through the sole plate, but it took me a decent amount of time. I was surprised how long it took me to like proper wreck
Yeah,
them.
I mean, in the skates defense, I guess, some of the ones that I've skated that have been super trash that you might have seen clips of, it's tactical, right? So if the ideal scenario for me is I've got two sets of skates at any one given time, one with a pristine sole plate with a groove in it, but it's optimum, and the other set that's completely dogged. So then if I want to get a cess slide clip, or I'm skating like a really rough ledge or something that's going to total it, I can just put the old ones back on and just thrash them a bit more, and it doesn't matter if they've got half a sole plate or like whatever, and then you're not just constantly trashing the new pair. So I normally have a beta pair. I try and have a beta pair and a fresh pair. That's
Right.
the
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the go. So if you've seen one, like there was one in Marseille
Because there's ones you had that were
where
like colored in and stuff, and they were like just destroyed. Was there not ones that had like white all
yeah,
over the side of them?
I
Have I made
spray
this up?
painted
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They started white, and I spray painted them gray, and then those were the ones I had on tour in Europe last year, and I skated like three street comps, filmed an edit, did so much stuff, and I had one replacement set of soles, and I was waiting as long as possible to put the new sole on. So I skated it until the whole sole kit fell off, and then eventually, and even on the last day with no sole plate, I still got a couple of clips, and then
Right. Okay.
eventually put the new kit on.
That's quite funny. I'm tactical with that as well. I've got my icons are almost dying. The sole plate is like, you know, those angled soles. It's like that now, but there's like no flat.
Yeah,
There's just no flat.
yeah.
I'm like, why would people pay money to have their so frames look like this? But now I'm like, I need to hang on to these because there's two slide spots I want to skate, and I don't want to do that to like brand new
Yeah,
skates
don't do it in the brand new soles. Yeah,
because
it makes sense.
it's gonna just upset me too much. So I'm like, I'm gonna write these off on those two spots, and then I can switch to the new skates. So has he sent you the new skates to try?
Not yet. So there's the new skate is about. We've seen it.
And
A
yeah, because
couple of
I
the
know a
people
few
in
people have got them.
America
Yeah, yeah.
have it because yeah. So it's only people in America that have it at the moment. There was like three or four prototypes that got sent over there. But yeah, a bit sad I didn't get some, but it's understandable. Like I live in Australia, do you know what I mean? It's
That
it's
it's that
tricky with the postage and
yeah, that's some
stuff.
serious postage going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like some people here in Australia, they circumnavigate it by getting stuff sent straight from Asia instead, like diverting it here instead of sending it to America and then all the way back. But I don't know if that's something we should look into. But yeah, either way, I wasn't surprised that I might be at the bottom of the queue to get them if the postage is going to be low. Um,
I mean, by the looks
But
of
yeah,
things,
so
they're going to be out sooner than later. So you're gonna you're gonna get a pair soon enough.
okay, get them at some point. Yeah. But yeah, they're about. I haven't got them, but we've got a little group going on, um, like a little chat group, from all the people that skate the skates, and you know, giving feedback to Duran and talking about ideas, what we want and what we don't want, and if something's a good idea or not. Which is cool. Uh, yeah, looking forward to getting them. But yeah, that's all I can
They've kind of
say about that.
quietly
Don't.
they've like quietly gathered a really stacked lineup in terms of skaters. So I've spoke to a couple of company owners over the past 2 years. I'm not going to name any
Yeah,
names, but they've been quite critical of T-Neck and like the model, being like, well, where's their team? Where's you know where's the media? Where's this like? And saying that they don't really approve of the business model, which I kind of disagree with. I think that business model's not really worked for quite a lot of brands, so why follow it? Like, go try something different, see if it works out. But the team now is like, you've got Michael Kraft, who I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite skaters to watch. Get yourself. They've got Jeff Phillip on there recently, which is great to see him like skating and putting sections out again. Alex Sams is seems to be now getting skates. Can't remember who else is on the team, but they're also like giving frames to other people because Andrew Broom is sponsored is getting frames off them. I think Cody Lampman is as well. And I'm like, when you actually put all those names in a list, you're like, that's some serious talent.
yeah. I mean, for sure. If you include it, like if you're talking about people that are skating the skates, then yeah, there's a bunch of really sick people skating the skates. Yeah, you mentioned Alex Sams. He's awesome skater. Loved everything that he's put out. He's like up there with current best spot finders, like, and he's just always skating such unique spots, and like he's got
Best
yeah,
slash
he's a
worst
great.
spot finders. Like some of the stuff you're like, dude, that's grim. Like,
Right, yeah, that's all. That's it's all like my street, though, right? Like I love all that rugged stuff, and things that just look so out the realm, not supposed to be skated. Like it just I love all that. So yeah, always been a fan of his. Michael, obviously, yeah, he's incredible, pushing the whole game forward. Big brain skater. Love his skating. He's obviously been part of this T-neck thing for the longest, I guess. So he's the poster boy, if you will, the reluctant
yeah,
hero,
definitely
brand
reluctant.
hero,
Yeah,
maybe. Um, um, but yeah, if you include the people that are just skating the frames, then yeah, it opens up to like a whole bunch of other people that are skating the frames. Yeah, like Broom and um, there's tons of people I've seen skating the frames. So yeah, there's a bunch. But I think it's where you're kind of saying the team. Like I'm not really sure, because obviously, like you say, there hasn't been that much media. Like there's no like official announcements
yeah.
of all these things, so you don't really know like if it's the team or if that person's just getting frames, or like maybe they're just buying them, or like you don't know really.
But they have had little projects here and there. Like they had the video with Michael Kraft and Sean Keane. There was another one that Duran did with Michael Kraft. Kraft's obviously had his frame promo, and there's been like the odd bit here and there. But yeah, I think I, don't- I get what some people are saying, and like, oh yeah, it's not adhering to the rules and like building up the hype that way. But the fact is, he's just this he's just this like guy with balls of steel that's going out there and trying to do it on his own and just maxing out all these credit cards. And I'm like, man, I'm really sorry, but that like for everyone that talks shit on the internet, he's the guy that's actually willing to like take a phenomenal gamble. So you can be critical of that all you want, but like I don't know many other people that are stepping up in that way. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on the internet in these circles, I guess, as much as you are. I haven't heard anybody throw shade like that in that context against Duran or against Teaneck or anything. But like, the yeah, like what he's doing is amazing. Should be respected to put yourself out there, and like he's done something on a first try that takes a lot of people a bunch of tries to make a functional good skate, you know.
yeah,
um, and he's made an incredible product. He's got incredible skaters that want to use that product, and we're using it, um, and trying to, you know, support it. I think, like, you know, maybe there's something to that. I At the start, I remember him saying something to me about, you know, he's not sure about wanting to like run a team, and like it all seemed a bit overwhelmed. You know, it all sounds very official, like even though most blading brands, it's not like having employees or like, you know, but it kind of is in structure, even if like people aren't getting their salary, or you still kind of have to organize people, and you know, there's a whole bunch of admin that has to happen, and you got to deal with personalities. So maybe that's part of it. Again, it's a question you would have to ask him.
yeah. Oh no, don't worry.
Perhaps.
I have many times.
Yeah, yeah. Perhaps I'm not qualified um, to give the answers that you're looking for. But
um, all right, I've questioned enough on T-Neck. So you're also on Red Eye Wheels. You get made official. Was that this year or last year? I can never. As I'm getting older, I feel like I'm getting senile. I can't tell years apart. Was that last
that
year?
was last year, yeah.
Okay, I got
But
that
I've been
right.
riding the wheels for ages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I remember
I've
you
been
were
riding the
riding the
wheels
Jake
for.
Dotson wheels when you were back when you were skating Aeons.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
I've got a
So that
memory for
was,
some things, just not years.
you remember you remember that one. But yeah, I've been riding the wheels for ages, since I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Um, when I met Buck at the Frankie Comp in Miami.
Okay.
And he was really nice to me, just, you know, very complimentary about my skating. And he'd sort of seen and been a fan of my skating before, and he sort of seen me like not be as enthused by it over a couple of years, and like I wasn't doing so great. And then he just was, you know, really stoked for me, and he said, "Oh, it's you look like you're in a way better place, and it shows in your skating, and I'm really glad that you're, you know, doing good in life." And he's just really nice guy, and gave me a set of wheels and just said, "Oh, if you ever need wheels, just hit me up, like, you know, whatever you want." And since then, been riding the wheels, and they're great wheels too,
I've had a
which
couple of sets. Yeah,
helps.
no complaints. Um, so you've obviously put out promos for them. When they, am I right? I can't remember if I've got this right, but I saw was it the most recent Blading Cup they announced the new line, and it was all just generic wheels apart from Hayden balls. Is that right? Like as in it was all just like his was the only pro wheel. Is that right?
I would have to check that, but I know Hayden obviously got a pro wheel because he got a pro
Pro
skate
skate, yeah.
with Echo. Um, so that was kind of specifically made for that reason. The other wheels that came out were team wheels. Um, and so what's the question? You're like asking
Because
if,
normally they do like a full range of Pro Wheels. Like I'm pretty sure every other year they've done a full range of Pro Wheels, but this year that was what I noticed about it. Like it wasn't
yeah, yeah. So
Hayden was the only one that got a Pro Wheel.
yeah, it's not intentional, like that, I don't think. Again, ask Buck. But as far as I understand it, uh, it was kind of like an in the middle. Like there was some wheels left of certain sizes or like whatever, and that they they wanted to clear out more stock and then do a whole line of pro wheels again. You know,
Right. Okay.
one. So
Yeah.
it's more, yeah. It's not like, oh, nobody's getting pro wheels anymore. It's
Oh
just
no,
like,
oh yeah, I didn't mean that way. I just kind of was like, I wonder what the idea was there because it just felt very different. But it does make sense if you're hanging on to old stock, you don't want to like outdate it by releasing new Pro Wheels, and then you're like, shit, we can't shift the old Pro Wheels.
exactly. Yeah, I think it was just a business decision. It's like clear inventory and then start again all fresh when everything's, you know, gone or thereabouts. I would have to check with Buck. Hopefully, I didn't screw that up. I think that's kind of what happened. But then, obviously, with the exception of Hayden, because he had the opportunity to get a pro skate, so obviously he was like, "Can I, have a wheel to go on the pro skate?" And I'd imagine
It's
that
very
was,
cool that they wangled that. Like that's like you've you've got the Pro Skate, you've got a frame, which is not only from a different company, but is from a competing boot brand, a competing aggressive boot brand like Icon.
yeah. I mean, I love that move. I think it's a great move.
And
I
then
just, yeah,
you've got his actual Pro Wheel on it. I'm like, that's a legit Pro Skate.
yeah, it's awesome. And I'm sure that just came about from good communication, and everybody was willing to compromise at some stage. Like the Mateus or was prepared to sell a bunch of sets of the icon frame to Echo
Yeah.
for a cheap price that's cheap enough that they can still make money on putting it on the skate. Like, it's like
Oh
people
yeah,
were willing to
definitely one brand in
cooperate.
that equation, at least one brand in that equation had to like compromise profits because there's no way they could sell it at those prices and it
Well,
even be profitable.
everybody, I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody will have had to compromise together in order to come together to produce a thing for Hayden, which is awesome. It should happen more often. That's great. Yeah, can't say a bad word about it.
Yeah. That's just brought into my mind when Montre had his what was it? What's it? I think it might have been Minim or SSM. He had a Pro Skate from SSM and it came with a 50/50 Rasta frame on it. And Montre wasn't sponsored by 50/50. He was sponsored by Create Originals. And I was like, this is fucking weird. Like,
Yeah, I remember that actually.
you've got a Pro Skate with a frame you don't ride from a company you have no association with. And the only thing that makes it your frame is it's got like a Rasta colorway on it. I'm like, this is just bizarre. Um,
Yeah, fascinating. I remember that. Yeah, you'd have to ask Trey or Law, I guess, or how that happened. But
um,
who knows?
yeah, very weird. So how long you been living out in Australia now? It's got to be. I'm gonna say here we go. Here
Four
we go. A
years.
mean years. Oh, I was gonna guess 5. Right. Okay. I was close.
Four. Yeah, four years this time around. Yeah, this is the fourth year, I think, now.
Right. How did
Or
that come
maybe it's the
about?
fifth year, maybe. Maybe it's the fifth. We're starting the fifth year now. I think it was maybe 2021, just after COVID, when we moved here.
Sweet. That means I've got it right. Um, you got in under the curfew, the age thing, because they've got an age limit before they like stop people living there permanently, don't they? Isn't it? I'm sure it's like under 30.
No, 37 is the number you're thinking of.
Is it
It used to be 35.
Is it to get a working visa or something like that?
That, yeah, work holiday visa,
Right.
which I already did one of those way back when I was 18. So you're allowed one per lifetime if you're from a Commonwealth country like England or, you know. So
Oh, God bless
I
colonization. There you go.
yeah, it has its perks if you're from
Mm,
the colonies,
yeah, if
but
you're from the colony that's
uh,
that's doing the pillaging, yeah, it has its
yeah,
perks.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the but there you go. If you're part of that, then you're yeah, you're allowed one working your holiday per lifetime. And but I already used mine up when I was 18, so
Okay.
I didn't have one of those. But I had applied because my at the time girlfriend, now wife, um
I did not know you were married. Congratulations. How did I not know
thank
this?
you so much, man. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty low key about it. We don't like, post a lot on social media and stuff like that. It's not like not one of
Okay.
those
Okay. Keeping secrets. That's
couples,
fine.
The,
That's fine. That's fine.
the people that know, they know, and yeah. But we got married the end of the year before last, so 1 year anniversary was in November, just gone.
Right. So
Um,
how did you manage to blag into the country on her dime, on her coattails?
yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so we were seeing each other in England for, I don't know, maybe a year or so, and kind of came to this point where she thought it might be a deal breaker, and she said, "Oh, like I really want to move back to Australia because she's got dual nationalities. Her mum was born here, and she's like, oh, and if that's a problem, then obviously it's very sad." And I was like, well, where do I sign? Like, I'm down. I've been trying to get back in for 10 years. So, um, yeah, but it was still super expensive and had to jump through a bunch of bureaucratic hoops, but made it work. Yeah.
So what are you doing for work out there?
Oh, same as always, combination of things,
Because
this and that.
I've heard some rumors. I want to hear if these rumors of are
Okay. Hit me with the rumors.
are factually accurate. So one of them is you do tree surgeon work,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
that's yeah. I mean, I've been a certified arborist for some time
an
since I was
arborist. That's a nice name. I
mm,
like that. Okay. And
mm,
the other
since
rumor. Well, okay, what were you gonna say?
since I was 20. I learned a trade of you know trees and everything to do with tree care, and became self-employed, and that's so I was working as a sole trader for 10, 15 years. Yeah.
That's such a random job to get into. Doesn't Thingy do it as well from City Life? What's his name? Steve Collis. Doesn't he do it as well?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He was just getting into it before I left England, one of the first times around, and he like asked me for advice about like which colleges to go to, and like how did I get into it, and now he's like fully set up. He's got his own thing going on and stuff.
Is it like lucrative or something? Because I feel like it's quite a.
It is.
I feel like it's a relatively dangerous job. Like
It is
like you're
dangerous if
climbing
you.
up trees and using like power tools.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, chainsaws at height, and yeah, it's there's a lot of high risk things. It's very dangerous if you get it wrong. It's a highly skilled job. Yeah, and it is very lucrative once like a lot of trades. Once you go self-employed and you start, contracting your own work, you can make a bunch of money. Like obviously, if you're as an employee for someone else, there's a ceiling to how much you can make from it. Yeah, once you're self-employed, you can make whatever you want. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So that rumor is true. As much as I'm kind of trying to, you know, be on the tools a bit less at the moment. What are the other rumors?
Well, the other one is that you like to gamble and that you're good at it.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Um, yeah.
Right. I've heard a couple of stories that may or may not be true about you taking other fellow skaters, well-known skaters, into casinos.
Uh, I mean, could definitely be true, but you'd have to jog my memory, like who and what
I
when.
don't want to incriminate anyone.
Oh, okay.
This is your podcast. We'll incriminate you. Everyone else.
All right, fair enough. But it's not incriminating. It's it's fairly common knowledge that yeah, I stopped doing the tree stuff for a while, and well, actually when we left the UK, and I've always been a poker player,
Oh,
so like
that was my next question. I was like, what's your game of choice? So it's all right. So it's like you're like serious about this. It's like cards. Right. Okay.
I play poker specifically pot limit Omaha. Okay, you're not that you know
You
what
could
that is.
literally have just made that up, and I'd be like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that I specialize in Portland Omaha specialist, but can play all of the poker based games, and have played in pretty big games and big tournaments around the world. And when we first left England and got rid of all my tree stuff, and it was the first kind of time I went full time poker, to see if I could make it work as a job, and I did make it work very successfully for a few years. Yeah, and that was paying the bills, and it was pretty good
Wow.
time.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, but it's
Sure.
not as exciting as your imagination may or
Well,
may not
it
paint
doesn't
it.
it doesn't sound exciting to me at all. It sounds anxiety levels through the roof. That I could not cope. I could not cope with that existence. That would send me to an early grave.
Yeah, I mean it's high stress sometimes, but there's a pattern in my vocations and the things that I choose to put time into, if non-risk averse, like they're all quite risk centric, like the tree thing and the skating thing, like the poker thing is just like another calculated risk taking endeavor, you know.
Starting a new life on the other side of the world.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so I go through stages of full-time poker, but then that's why it's nice to have the trade of the tree thing, so I can get my hands dirty and make money the old-fashioned way if I have to, like if poker's not going so good, or I can jump back in and go get some dollars like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's
Fair enough.
not a lot of people think the poker thing's like some James Bond, like they think you're like rolling into the casino with your like gangster buddies, and like you
The tuxedo on, right?
it, like people think it's like that, and it's not at all. It's just like a bunch of nerds all sitting in a room doing lots of maths in their head, and it's like quite boring for the most part. It's very similar to like trading stocks and shares, or like it's all just like calculated risk. You're just made doing maths problems, and you know trying to outplay people at a strategy game. But people aren't sitting there, with champagne, and it's like everyone's drinking lemon tea, and half the people in the room are 75 years old. Like it's just, yeah, it's not what people think it is.
Fair enough. Have you ever spoke to Jeff Downes about this? Because he's a big like I think it's poker he plays, but he always seems to be going to casinos and like cleaning up.
Okay, no, no, I haven't ever spoken to him about anything really.
I would have thought you two would have
Um,
crossed paths because you're quite frequently in the States and stuff like that. Have you not ever bumped into him at a competition?
no, we've never hung out, no. But there are other bladers who I have spoken to about poker quite a lot. Mike Welland used to be, obviously he's retired from the poker game now, but he was, living the poker life for a long time.
I
Um,
did not know that. Okay. Whenever I think of Mike, I just think of his USD days when he was like on the
yeah, so
USD. And
so
then I
during
think of
those
him as part of like the Sodo pizza thing.
yeah, so the period that links those two times, he was a professional poker player for that whole period of time.
Learn something new
Um,
every day. There you go. Huh.
yeah, there you go. And then there's a few people that play a bit. Uh, there's another guy here, Brad Watson, who he's frequents the Hold'em tournaments and stuff. I see him at the casino quite a lot. So yeah, there's a few people that do it. Yeah, it's not for everyone. It's like I'm not. This is not career advice. Please take the take the disclaimer. Anybody watching now, like
Do not blame
I
me for
don't.
any money you lose. That's on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's
I
your
don't
choice.
necessarily recommend it. Yeah, um, yeah. Plenty of times the bankroll takes a hit, and I've got to go climb some trees and chop them again. So don't don't quit your day job.
Fair enough.
Learn a backup skill if you
Because
can.
yeah, when I see like you've been flying around the world for years competing at all these events, like you've been to like Bladen Cup in the States and Europe and Asia, you've been to like all these random ass countries that I'm not even gonna remember and can't list. You did that um like Bladen Initiative thing in what Asian country
Brunei,
was that? Where was that?
Brunei.
There you go. I
Yeah,
was never gonna remember that country. And
yeah.
like you just seem to be getting away about everywhere, and you're clearly not doing it for money because there's no money in blading events. Like hell, in loads of major blading events, if you win first place, if you take into consideration your flight, accommodation, and food, you've probably like you'll be lucky if you've broke even. So your goal for doing these is clearly not to like make a profit from it. So what's the motivation for like getting to all these different countries and like putting yourself out there like that?
Uh, man, I just I just love it, man. Like that's it. Like I profit. Like I love everything about skating, and it's the thing that's brought me the most joy in my life, and uh, I want to squeeze every last drop of juice out of the fruit before like I'm past it, or like I don't want to I don't ever want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I just traveled to a few more comps, or like, oh, I wish I tried a bit more, like I wish I filmed a couple more parts, or like, I never want to look back at skating, because there's going to come a time where I can't
Yeah.
go and film a part in a week, or like I'll always skate, I think, to some degree, like until I'm like slow mo or whatever, like skating around on the beach at 70. But like, I'm not going to be able to skate like this forever, So the last thing I want is to look back and be like, oh, I wonder if I'd have just tried a bit harder, or, gone. So that's kind of what keeps me motivated. That's one element of what keeps me motivated to travel so much and, just put so much effort in. I enjoy it, obviously, is the other reason. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. And also, more recently, the younger generation of kids that I've met from around the world, and just like zooming out from the whole thing and seeing how they look at me, or my influence to them, and realizing it's come full circle, and I'm the guy now that some of these kids look at, and they go like, wow, like this guy's great, like, and you're setting the stage for these kids, and like showing them what can be done, and how good it is to what it can give your life, like all the things except money, pretty much. Like,
don't aspire to that. Anything else? Yeah, okay. Um,
yeah, and like who knows, maybe in the future it will be lucrative. I don't know, but that's certainly going to be, if that ever does happen, I would imagine it's going to be after my time. But who cares, man? Like, God, it's given me so much more, and things that are so much more valuable than money. Um, just life experience and meeting people from all these places around the world is such a, like, we don't give it credit for how unique it is to have a hobby or a passion that takes you, like, you can go and drop yourself in Jakarta, Indonesia, and there's a hotel full of people that love doing the thing that you love doing, and you all have common ground, and you can just go share experiences. Like, that's incredible. Like, 99% of people in the world would never have something like that ever.
yeah.
So it should be cherished, celebrated, and committed to as such.
It's quite funny that you say that because yeah, my partner always finds it really funny because she's got no interest or like anything to do with it whatsoever. But anytime we've been in Brighton before, like random, I've never been in Brighton in my life. The very first time I was there, sitting in a bar with my partner, Adam Cola walks by and he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And we just start talking. She's like, "How the hell do you know anyone here?" And I'm like, "Rolling."
It's
And then
magic. Yeah.
yeah, and then we'll be somewhere like completely random, and this person will just come up and start talking to me, and she's like, how? I'm like, Robin, or like we'll be in a foreign country, and like I'll bump into someone, and she'll be like, how? And I'm like, everything is rollerblading, everything, anything weird or random that happens in my life, or you don't understand, it's to do, and she's just like, or like people will come over from other countries, like Aunt came and stayed not too long ago with his wife, and she's like, how do you know Aunt Medina? And I was like he came to State Unit 23. I was like, I know him, like he edited Quinny's Park for Wheelscene. Like I've paid for him to make videos before with like Andrew Broom and Brian Weiss, and she's like, and now he's staying in our house, and she's just like, it just she can't like she can't understand like the scale of it, like how
Yeah.
like
It's, and the network only gets bigger the longer you've been in it. And, I'm very fortunate to have friends in so many countries now that I'm confident you could drop me on almost any continent in almost any country, and, within an hour I'd have somebody's phone number who'd be helping me out, and, like, what I mean, and you'll just go to a skate park and just like wait for someone to show up. Like, there's,
yeah, yeah.
it's an incredible thing. It really is. Yeah.
um
So it's another motivation to get around. Yeah. My late grandfather also told me just before he died, like, about, because I was already on my train of traveling a lot, and he he said that was um his one thing he would have done differently if he had all his time again. He was like, I would have done more of what you're doing. Like, I would have traveled more and just like not cared as much about staying in one spot. And he said, don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing it. So I did, and I am. Yeah.
that's pretty funny. Yeah, I did with the skiing thing today. There's a Facebook group where you can like do car shares, and I ended up driving up this kid, this like 25-year-old guy, and he was asking me a little bit about my life and like stuff I've done. And I think he said he was only 25, and he's like, oh yeah, I like did like ski seasons abroad and like taught and like did like lessons and worked in a chalet as a limo driver, as a like driver for this like rich family, and got my ski pass for an entire season. I was like, that sounds incredible. He's like, yeah, but now I'm 25 and I work in an office. And I'm like, why the fuck are you working in an office? I'm like, you're 25 years old. You don't need to have it.
Yeah.
You don't need to have it figured out. Just that. I was like, work there for a few months or until the summer. Save up as much money as possible. Don't go drinking a single weekend for 6 months, and then just take the money and fuck off somewhere. I was like, you're
That's good.
25. You don't need to have it figured out. Go and just go, like, just bugger off and explore. Do more of the like chalet stuff or the season stuff. I was like, he was like, oh, I love surfing and I love snowboarding. I was like, go and do that then.
Yeah,
Like
there's
adult life will be waiting. Just don't rack up hundreds of debt in the process. That's like the
yeah,
only bit of advice I would give you. I was like, other than that, you can get an office job in your late 20s or your 30s or whatever. You don't need to do it now.
that's true. There's a lot of ways to skin the cat anyway. I don't even think that like adult life has to be, doesn't mean you have to be like, right, I'm giving up everything fun now and I just need to make as much money and save for retirement and buy a house and do that. Even though like, sure, that stuff is important, especially if you have children and you got if like that's kind of if you want to have children, you have children, and then I believe like your life should that's a pivotal point in your life where like
Oh
you're
yeah,
doing things
you
now.
can't be messing around and being selfish when you've got kids. They're
Yeah,
they're they're
yeah,
the,
it's
they're the
like
priority afterwards. Yeah.
that's a priority, and anything else, any time you've got left, you can figure out what to do with that. But if you don't have children, then like you can do what you want, man. Like you could go, you could tell that kid go work a few seasons in the snow, go do some surf schools or whatever, and then your big career move might come from that. Like you might start your own snowboard school, like you might start your own beach cafe or so. Like there might be you meet somebody else who's on the same vibe and you build a thing together. Like who knows what's gonna, but you'll never know. The office job will always be where the office job is.
Yeah.
There is a constant revolving door of those, and they're not going anywhere. And if you ever want to go that path, it's always going to be there. So
Yeah, I think that was more my argument. I was like, that job's
yeah,
like no matter when you start doing that, you're gonna have to work your way up anyway. So why do it in the prime of your life when you're young and you can be out like and because he came across, he was like really like friendly all day, and I noticed like he would just talk to absolutely everyone, and I was like, with a personality like that, just see where it takes you. Just go and yeah, do these trips. And for all you know, like your outgoing, friendly nature might stumble upon someone that like
yeah, you catch a
wants you to
vibe.
do well and like yeah, like wants to help you
Yeah,
out and offers you an opportunity, and that's where it goes.
yeah,
Um
100%. I've met people like that. I've been that guy. Like I've been wandering about in random places and met people who are just like, oh, you seem like a smart kid. Do you want to like do this? And you end up working for them for 6 months. So like is yeah, it happens every day. Just gotta be out there.
on a complete tangent from that, you're one of the few people that puts effort into actually making like Instagram sections, edits. I think a lot of people just like shove up
Mm.
single clips or go for the like I call it the circus, the kind of circus blading effect. They're like, let's see how like dramatic and viral worthy we can make like a single piece of footage. But
Hmm.
you seem to like go for like the traditional skate section, but in an Instagram format. Talk to me about the the thought process behind that, because you could
Mm.
easily with the sections you put out like a couple of minute section or a minute long section that could easily be like a month's worth of single clips that you could use to just keep racking up likes and views and playing the algorithm and getting more followers or whatever the fuck people use social media for. I'm a dinosaur and don't really understand how it works at all. But you seem to go the other way and you're like, no, I want to make
Okay.
this like cohesive thing. So what's the thought process behind that? Oh, you froze. Is that?
Um,
Oh no, there we go.
I'm really glad you asked me that question, by the way. That's a great this process. Um, it started almost exactly 1 year ago because I was looking at this the other day. Almost exactly 1 year ago today, uh, I just was like getting a bit down on like how I'm presenting my skating and just over the whole social media thing. It's like I want to contribute. I want to get my skating out there, and I know you can't always be filming. Like if I could be filming a legit section all the time, I would be, but that's not just relying on me. I don't have. You don't always have a filmer who's like doing it and like people to collab with or whatever the reason is. If you want to be skating a lot and sharing your skating a lot, some of it you're going to be skating by yourself, some of it you're going to be with the boys, but everyone's just trying to skate, and like that's fair enough, of course. Um, but you kind of feel an obligation um, if you're, trying to present your skating in the best way possible. If you've got sponsors, these days it's like you're kind of obligated. That's your contribution, right? It's like you have to be active on social media. You should be sharing clips of your skating, at least, right? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, some people don't
but I
understand
was,
that simple concept, but yeah.
yeah, but like that's about the it's a lot more nuanced than that, and of course, there's other things that you're doing that isn't just social media, like traveling to comps and talking to kids and doing things out in the world. But the general consensus is if you're getting free stuff, you should probably be making videos on social media and sharing it. That's like a way
Yeah.
of promoting the people that helped you with the stuff, right?
Hmm.
Pretty basic transaction. But I was just getting really bored and like quite self-critical of like other people and myself included, like what I was putting into social media and how my skating was coming across. It's like is this really worthwhile to just film another, you know, quick hits or like skating a P rail doing the same shit, like just putting it like it's sloppy and like kind of lazy, like to be just doing that. Or like even just like one street clip that I went and got, like, and just throw it out there. Nobody will ever remember it. Like it's just buried in the fodder after, you get your couple hundred likes or whatever and a few fire emojis and then and then it's just gone, zipped away. And yeah, I started just thinking to myself like how could I do it differently, and asked myself the question, what am I trying to get from this? Like, because if the answer was I'm trying to get as many followers, as many likes, as many this or as many that as possible, then yeah, what you said, that is the way to do it. You just post single clips. I'd post a clip. Like I'm getting enough clips so I could post a clip every day, like, and I could just bombard the algorithm and just get on everyone's nerves, but I'd get loads of followers or whatever, right? But that's not, when I asked myself that question, that's not what I wanted out of it. Like I wanted to present my skating in the best way possible and in a more memorable way. So I set out to make, like you said, more like a curated section. Like every month, I set myself the task of like all these phone clips I'm getting, I'm just going to keep them. I'm going to learn to edit on CapCut or whatever, and I'm going to make like like a section, but just as an Insta reel, and then put effort into it, like have an idea behind it. And the goal is meaningful engagement over meaningless interaction. Like I want to start conversations and have people talk about it, and I also want people to be able to find it again. I don't want it to be disposable. So the idea was uh, on each one of these edits that I made to have the thumbnail, like the title of the reel in the thumbnail, so that now I do post single clips from them now. I've started doing like the raw clips. And if you watch some of the raw clips and you like it, it'll say the title. And if you go to my Reels page, you can see the title of each one.
Okay,
So
so like at a glance,
it
it's like
so
it's
in
easy to find.
theory, yeah, in theory, if you wanted to, you could go like, I'm just gonna see if I can get it up so you can see like, in theory, if you wanted to, you could see one of my clips. Yes. So, and then you'd be like, oh, that's cool. And therapy or whatever. And then if you go onto my Reels page, um, can you see that?
Right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So
That makes sense.
like, yeah. So then you're like, oh, that's that one. And you can just go like, bang, it's there. So if you ever wanted to go watch it, you're not just like, oh, what was that clip? That one down on to clip that like, and then you'd go scrolling because I've done it with other skaters. I've gone like, oh, I remember this trick, and then like you try to find it in their posts, and it's
Yeah.
just buried in like so much. So the concept was like, I wanted to try and make it less disposable and like rewatchable, so people could, if they wanted to, go back, and that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing, and it's all like a bit more substantial and like it's tearing away these skate clips into the ether.
Right. Okay. No, that makes sense. But then you're still also alongside that putting out traditional parts, like as in you're putting out full street sections filmed by other people on YouTube. So it's like you're doing both. Oh, you died again.
Correct.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. Right. I think your
Are we back? Okay.
Airbnbs get dodgy Wi-Fi because every once in a while it's like brrr.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It says we've got 4 bars. I don't know.
Nah,
Hopefully
we're all good.
it's
Because
something.
you right,
Um.
who was it made the recent section? Was it Andy Plumridge? Is that right?
No. No. Mike Anderson.
Mike Anderson. Damn it. I always because right. What was it? What's the I always get these mixed up because it's so far away. Right. Andy does parallel projects, right?
Yeah.
And Mike
And he
Anderson
made the Melbourne stuff. Mike
does the
Anderson's from.
but what was the last video project Mike Anderson did that had like Martin Gade and all those guys in it? I'm pretty sure you had clips in it as well.
No, that's you're thinking of Andy Plummer. It's the
Andy Plummer,
same
I'm
thing.
mixing them up.
So yeah. So like they're completely different people from completely different places.
Damn it.
Yeah, that the Melbourne video was the last thing that Andy made a couple of years ago. Um, but yeah, Mike Anderson made the recent Perth one.
Okay. Your video's just died.
Oh, my video?
Yeah, it's just gone off. It's now just your name that's appearing on the screen.
Hold up. Are we back?
Ah, there we go. We're back. Right, cool.
We're back.
That's fine. I've just screwed up the intro to this podcast because I've completely mixed that up, and it wasn't because Chris Goldie used to live out there
Right.
and hang about with Mike.
Mike Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was in Perth.
Right.
Goldie
Okay.
was.
Right.
Must have been.
So I'm guessing the most recent street section you made with him was filmed in a short period. Then did you go out there or did he come to you? How did that work?
I went over there after some serious trials and tribulations. Bought a new car. It's about the 15th of December, and planning to do a road trip. Me, the wife, and the dog, driving from Melbourne to Perth, which is really long way.
Yeah, you absolute
Um,
sadist. I remember you put up the I remember you put up the updates on social media and I was like, why would you do that to yourself?
and you got because you got to take the dog, man. Like he's got to
This is
come.
true. Oh, that was I do remember now because you were like no man left behind. Yeah, yeah.
That's it. He's got to come too.
Can dogs not fly domestically in
Yeah,
Australia, no?
not in the not in the cabin. If he could come in the cabin, I would 100% buy him a plane ticket. But they have to go under in the hold, and I
Oh,
don't think he'd be good with that. He's a rescue, and he's also like American Staffy and uh, whatever they call this. All the snub nose breeds, like they have breathing issues in low pressure and stuff, so it's like really risky for them to fly on planes
right, okay.
um, in the hold. So like, yeah, they have something to do with their trachea. It's dangerous for them to fly. But yeah, we don't mind a road trip anyway. But so we bought a new car. The car then got written off by a truck crashing into me at a red light.
Was everyone
Just
okay?
yeah, just me and Pinto, the dog, in the car when it happened. He just got a bit scared, but he was fine.
Right.
No major injuries or anything. Just a bit of a shock. But so then had to organize a rental car, and the at fault insurance had to sort the rental car, and it was just before Christmas, and it was just it was all a real stressful time. But so yeah, did get the rental, drove in the rental to Perth, got there at 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and in time to build the trampoline for the kids in the dark. There you go.
Oh man.
Yeah. No rest for the wicked. Then I cooked Christmas dinner on the next day as well. But that's another story. But yeah, so I drove down there out west, and yeah, Mike was super down to skate. It was so hot, and he had like 2 weeks of holiday or whatever, and I just kind of said, man, however much of your time you're willing to like donate to it, that's how long we'll film for, and whatever we get, we'll get. And turned out, I think six days we skated for almost in a row. I think we did like 3 days, 3 days every day, and then one day off, and then 3 more days.
Wow. Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
That's also it is quite like I mean, none of us are in our teens or 20s anymore, and everyone's got other stuff going on, like whatever it is, whether you've got a job, a family, kids, whatever. And that it is a long time to donate to something, especially like something that's basically just a passion project. So it is very cool when you can find someone and they're like, yeah, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, okay. Because
Amazing.
it's
I'm
less it's less and
incredibly
less common.
grateful. Yeah, like it's doesn't get recognized enough, man. Like there's not enough thank yous in the world for Mike. So yeah, it's it's rare that people, if anybody's generous enough to share their time with you and work towards a project or whatever it is, like he came and filmed, and he was the spot encyclopedia, and like drove around to all the spots and showed me everything and filmed and like and edited the thing, and that's like 6 days out of a 2 week holiday over the holidays is like it's like half the time, like
Yeah.
he's willing to and he was super stoked to do it, and yeah, kind of very very grateful. It's humbling that when people are willing to combine and work together, especially when it's like we're not getting it's not like, oh, do you want to do this thing with me for a week, and I'll
Yeah,
we
we've got a
get
budget.
10 grand or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got a budget. The budget is zero.
The budget is I'll buy you some coconut water, and I'll like pay for petrol if you want, and I'll buy you dinner or whatever, but like Um, yeah, incredible. Very, very grateful.
Because also
Yeah.
like it turned out really different from all the stuff you do with Ed. Because Ed's got like a certain style, and then like doing it with Mike, it just kind of gave it a very like different aesthetic, I thought, and like. And I checked the comments as well to see if anyone else like felt the same, and there was other people being like, "Oh, I love this. This is like, yeah, like I think this might be my favorite section of yours." Like people seem to respond to it.
Yeah, yeah, it's always going to be different when you're working with different people, and your combined vision is never going to be it's never going to be the same if you change one of the people. But and also it's just unique for a time, and it's like the place. Like I never put out an edit from Perth before, and my skating is still changing and evolving. Like I don't feel like I've plateaued at all. Like I feel like I still feel like I'm improving and changing the way I skate and the nuance of it all, and I still feel like I'm getting better at it. So it's only natural that people would respond in that way. It's very, but people again the whole this goes back to the meaningful engagement over views thing. Like it was definitely an incredible response to it, meaningful engagement wise. Like so many people reached out to me and said really nice stuff about it, and like people was talking in the comments, and like people were DMing me on Insta and being like, "Man, I absolutely loved it," and like the amount of meaningful engagement I got from it was noticeably more than perhaps maybe like one or two of the previous ones. Um, but yeah, super happy with how it came out, man. Very proud of it, and feel like it will last forever. Great.
So you've done the Perth one. When you going to go to Brisbane and do a full street section filmed and edited by Rob Kellett? Because then it'll be
Oh,
different
mate.
again.
Of course, I am trying to do that. Like, I am really trying to do that. We're actually, Cara and I, actually in the market for a place up there. Like, we're trying to leave Melbourne and go up to Queensland and
Okay.
kick it with those homies up there. Yeah, like we've been looking at places up there, and yeah, it's been on the cards for a minute.
Because he's got his new fancy Sean Kelso camera. He's like he messaged me to be like I got this, and I was like I don't know what that means, and he's like it's the same one Sean Kelso uses, and I'm like okay cool.
Cool, man. Yeah, no, yeah, Rob's the best, man. Yeah, I love all those Brisbane boys. Yeah, and they got the best spots, best vibe, best crew. Like, love it out there. Need to go more. Um, Definitely want to. Like, Rob's another one who's like he's so generous with his time and like his commitment. Like him and James and Nat, who's got the shop up there, and like they've just got like really tight scene, and like everyone's very for the cause, like everyone's very committed and willing to be generous with their time and effort, which is awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, soon is that question. Maybe I should tick off all the Australian major cities. Maybe that's the new series. It's going to be like maybe we did the Perth one, and then I'll do it.
You already have because you've made a section in Sydney with Don West years ago.
Oh yeah, not a full section. We
Well, it was a solo thing.
Yeah, maybe if I yeah it was, yeah, to be fair, we made an edit there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay, we're taking them off. Need a Brisbane full section, and then
That's it.
maybe
That's it. Right. Who else we got? Oh, we've got Andy. We've got since I screwed up with Mike, we've got Andy Plumridge instead of Mike Anderson. We can tick off. We can get Andy Plumridge as well.
your
Uh,
favorite
what?
guy
Don't
to
know.
get wrong.
See when the mind like does that. See when the mind just like attaches a different a different name for no reason, and you're like,
Well, of course,
I
yeah.
don't know why
It's
that's done that.
it happens. Yeah.
Um, yeah, wild. So what's you're always globetrotting and going to all these events. What's the plans for this year? I'm assuming you've already got plane tickets booked and places you're going. So what's happening?
Um. So next on the agenda, I haven't actually got any booked yet, but I am. It's on the to-do list to book flights once we get back to Melbourne. Um, Coming back to England uh, for a brief visit slash potentially Europe in June. And then following from there, going from going for this late June back to UK, might do a Europe trip, not sure if I have time. Then on to Vancouver, Canada. And the loose idea is now to go from there to uh, road trip through the States, go to Seattle, um, go skate with those guys over there for a while, and then drive south and figure something out from there. Stay in the US for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Have a couple of different options. Want to film a street part. Had a couple of offers from people who are interested in doing that. And yeah, see a little bit more of America that I haven't seen. And then come back to Australia. Uh, Definitely going to Blading Cup Jakarta again. 100%. It's become, even though it's only been a couple of times that they've done it now, it's like it's become a must do trip. It's just like an annual trip now. It's at the best time of year when you're in Melbourne, like August is the middle of winter in Melbourne. It rains loads, like it gets a bit cold. Like, and Jakarta's on the equator, so it's just like always warm, whatever. Flights are kind of cheap, it's easy to get to from Australia. Um, and just the event itself is like, I'm pressed to find a comp slash event that's better than that in, the last few years. Like, it's unreal how good it is.
And what makes like that particular one like special or different?
Oh, it's I've obviously got a soft spot for Southeast Asia, having spent a lot of time there. Love the people, love the food, like, but the event itself is just very well organized. The event is right next to a hotel called a loft where everybody stays. They've got a special deal if you're like coming to the comp, that like you get the special deal at the hotel. Staff are amazing, super affordable. It's got like a rooftop pool, really nice food, like just everything, and it's over the road from where the skate park thing is. Like, and yeah, just the vibes is like, it's hard to describe if you haven't been there, but it's just so wholesome. Like, um, the amount of people that turn up to watch who aren't even necessarily bladers, like it's mad. Like it's having like a full crowd all around the skate park, and just so stoked to see everything that's going on, and like the vibes, all the kids and that. It's yeah, it's great, man. Like, yeah, Julio's really he's really tapped into something there. Really, really has, yeah.
Okay. You just want to sign more autographs, don't you? I saw, was it last year or the year before you were signing like hats and stuff for little kids?
Oh man, like it's how humbling is that, bro? Like, I mean, I'm like, I'm not it's so, it's just such a nice thing. Like that's what I mean about the full circle thing. It's like I am in no way, you know, Aaron Feinberg or Brian Schema. Like I don't like if me putting myself next to anything like that is just so out of the realms. Like I would never think of it like that. But then when you get a kid like come and ask you something and they'll say something about one of your videos, it'll be like, oh, can I get your autograph? Can you sign my helmet or my t-shirt or something? It's like it takes me back to being a kid and being like, wow, like this is like I'm a legend to this kid, you know, like that's awesome. Like how great is that? Like it's yeah, amazing. All the time in the world for that. It's very yeah, satisfying. And yeah, that's yeah, kind of gives you a duty to be nice to them and like give back and talk to their parents and stuff. You know, it's important.
Nice. Right, last question, and then I'll let you go. What are your, as someone that's like very active in skating and like obviously putting out loads of stuff, like attending events, putting out videos, got sponsored by multiple brands. What's your like current take on the way things are? Are there like positives you draw from it, or like things you're frustrated with, or like what's your overall view of like what you're seeing when you're traveling the world, you know, interacting with these brands, attending these events, like seeing, I mean, skaters from pretty much every major rollerblading country in the world.
Mm.
Because
So,
because you're opinionated every time I put up like a fucking post or anything on Instagram, you're straight in the DMs
I
with your
know,
little like sarky comments or like so, you've got something to say about everything. So
I do.
there's no way you don't have strong opinions about what's happening in the sport.
I do have strong opinions. I do. But you know, so there's a time and a place sometimes for those strong opinions, and you're definitely a
Also,
person that
the place is my DMs. That's the place, right?
like
Okay.
yeah. I mean, you're a person. You're a good person to vent to like about stuff because I feel like you. I would only vent stuff at or to you if I thought like you would agree. You know, like so it's good to like I don't like to throw shade at people, you know, like I'm not about to get on my soapbox and start telling people what's wrong with what they're like, do you know what I mean? I don't want to use the internet like that, you know? Like I don't want to be
You're allowed to disagree with. So
Of course, yeah, I'm
something
allowed
that I found like.
I'm not a toxic positivity guy. I'm
Yeah,
not like
like
everyone needs
people
to be
go,
best
oh, like
friends.
don't be a hater, and you're like, you cannot like something and not be a hater. Like as long as you back it up with a justification or like a reasonable argument, as long as you just don't go, fuck these people, like that's not cool. But you can still go, oh, I don't like this, and this is why I don't like
Yeah,
this.
of course. There's a level to it, right? Like you like it's one thing to be like oh, this guy's a loser. Look at his stupid shirt or his pants aren't baggy enough. Like that's just dumb, right? Like, but you know, if it's constructive and there's like a reason behind it, but like I just don't like singling people out either because I know how it feels to be singled out. Like people, social media gets people's heads all funny, you know, like and people they take things really personally and like I don't want anybody to think that I'm like digging them out, you know. But in response to your question, which was an extremely broad question,
It's almost like that was intentional.
yeah, yeah, the current state of things I think is good on the whole. Seems to be, especially with the youth, like it seems like there's a lot more younger kids, like a noticeable amount more younger kids getting more involved and you know like the junior with the regard to the comps like every comp I've been to the junior comp has been bigger and fuller and there's more of them girls and boys across the board at every comp because there was a stage there I don't know where there'd be like two
Oh
junior
yeah, you go
kids
back
and
like
like
you
there
don't
was
have
a
to go
really
back that
long
many years, and you were like,
no no
man,
like
there's no point. Yeah,
five years ago
there's no point running this event because there's no one
yeah
fucking competing in it.
like, and that's from like 10 years ago up until like 5 years ago. There was, two or three kids in there, and you'd always like give them a prize just for being the kid who came. But there wasn't like a roster of like 20
Yeah.
under 15s and 20 under, like, and that's grown across the board. Like every country I've been to recently who's had a comp, especially these ones in Asia. But yeah, across the board, Europe, here in Australia, everywhere, there's more kids, which is awesome. So that just, it's a reflection of blading uptake and participation being in a good place. I guess like as for the state the state of things, uh yeah, I mean, I think it's good enough. I think social media, I struggle with social media and how people engage with social media, and I just had to kind of, like I was talking about earlier, about what I wanted to put out and what I was trying to get out of it. And it's like I had to stop trying to be what I think the world needs or wants me to. Like, I'm never going to be a like and subscribe guy, Like, I'm not going to be
That's my
that guy.
job. That's my
That's
job.
your job. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Like, what you're doing, well, like, so it's interesting, right? Like, most of this expectation probably comes from ourselves as the skaters. And it's like we see some people, especially a generation that's kind of grown up with it, like they're taking more naturally to being like presenters and social media curators and creators, and like they've got this full package that's like, hey guys, what's up? Like, and they've got this whole personality, and it's like you don't have to necessarily be that as well. It's awesome if you are, like, that's great, but it's kind of a separate thing. Like, you don't, if you want to skate and be the best skater you can be and just rep your sponsors and be a good person around kids at comps and do that, like that, in my eyes, that's what being a top skater is about. It's like, if you want to be this social media guy too, great, but like, just kind of, yeah, I feel like people feel the need to present like that, and I think some people would do better if they didn't. Like, you don't need to.
yeah,
Not everybody needs to do that.
I do know what you mean, and I have spoken to people about this because I've like, there's this age-old battle where there's certain pro skaters who bemoan the fact that they can't make a living from it. And then you say, well, people just want more access to you. And if you can't get this money from your sponsors, you could get this money from somewhere else. Like, you could start a YouTube channel, you could create a Patreon account, and with your personality and with your skills and with like the stories that you could offer via that, you could end up making way more money than you'd ever make from sponsors and competition, like competition, even if you won every major competition combined. Like the mushroom blading guys rake in like a couple of grand a month,
Yeah.
and they're randoms from the middle of nowhere in Canada. Now, don't get me wrong, they've got a long history and they've made phenomenal videos and they're really influential. But the fact is, like, there's pro skaters that could do that, but they're like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to talk to people. Like, I don't want to make the videos. I don't want to do that cheesy shit. And I'm like, you don't need to. Just share videos
Yeah, like, you
about.
don't have to.
You don't have to do
Like,
the. You don't have to do the like CBBC presenter shit. Like, you can just be like, oh, I was I was in Jakarta, like I was at Blading Cup. Here's some stories that happened there. Like, this was quite funny, or this was a bit random, or this happened, or da 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 da,
yeah.
and share some like behind the scenes stuff. And they're just like, nah, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, that's cool, right? But don't come to me and complain that you can't make a living, you can't make this work for you, and you can't make a living. And I'm offering you a suggestion that is very likely to work, and you're just not willing to even entertain the idea. I'm like, you don't know unless you try.
Of course. Yeah. And well, that's so I dipped my toe in it and I was like, this isn't for me. I'm not, this isn't what this isn't what I want to create. One, I'm not very good at. I'm sure I could get good at it if I practice really hard. Like I'm sure you are, like you've practiced hard to be able to do these and be able to present skating, and you know,
You're saying that's not just natural talent. Is that what you're
God
trying to tell me?
given talent. No, yeah,
What is
no, sorry,
happening?
buddy.
Don't insult. You said you weren't going to insult people. You're insulting me right now.
um, yeah, like it's a skill like anything else. And look at any successful YouTuber, or like their first bunch of videos are going to suck, right? Like, and they progressively get better until they're good
Yeah.
at it, just like skating. And like, who knows? Maybe sometime in the future, I might 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 be something that I branch into. But at this current moment, I want to focus all my attention just to skating as good as I can, traveling as much as I can, influencing the youth in a positive manner. And I think that takes up, like, for skating, because skating takes up such a big block of my life anyway. It's like you do have to have room for other stuff. And if I was also doing a YouTube channel and also doing this stuff, it's like that would then be like my entire life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to give your entire life to something that's not paying the rent. Like it's foolish. But I feel like I'm giving back in the ways that I can.
I would say so. Yeah, I would agree with
But
that.
yeah, so that's one thing that I don't like is the pressure that seems to exist on skaters to feel the need like they have to do so much now. Like it feels like it's not enough for you to just be an amazing skater who's a great guy who's like you're all these things, but it's like, oh, but where's your YouTube channel, and where's your why don't you have a Patreon
Yeah.
thing, and like why don't you have this? And I feel like it's so unfair to a lot of, and it also probably turns people away from putting themselves out there more, because they're like, oh, I'm never going to be that. It makes it less achievable for aspiring skaters. If they look up and they're like, man, like what you're saying, I've got to have a YouTube channel, I've got to have a Patreon, I've got to be this like happy smiley guy on the camera, I've got to sell the product, then I've got to go to the comps and I've got to fill street sections. You know what I mean? It's like the list of responsibilities or like duties for a pro skater now is getting longer and longer and longer, and it's like you're not getting anything more for doing it.
Yes, but unfortunately, I think because the market, I think because social media has opened it up and like it's exposed so many other people to like sponsorship and stuff like that. Like you go back 10 years ago, some guy from Israel was not getting a pro skate, and now Bobby Spazov has got more skates than I can even remember. Or like, Russian dudes were not getting opportunities, and now Elias Savison again has got a stack of skates to his name. Or like people who lived in Brazil or Asia were just not getting the spotlight that they are now. And now it feels like Brazil and Asia could potentially take over rollerblading. Like it's
Yeah, I mean,
like
I've said Asia's going to take over for a
you
while.
see, like if the Koreans and the Japanese just started putting out regular street parts in addition to like the mental stuff that they're doing at skate parks and
Oh,
competitions,
it's over.
it would
It's over
dismantle
for
rollerblading.
everybody.
Like it would shake the foundations of it. Yeah. Um,
Mm.
but but yeah, I do feel it kind of it's like the music industry thing. Like now, like the record labels don't discover bands and then build them up. You already have to come with a fan base. You already have to have like made your own music videos, and like you already have to be the finished package.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't find a band now and then like build it up. You have to already be like good to go. You have to be like
yeah.
superstar status, or you're just not. They don't want you.
Yeah, and I think yeah, so I think that is it's an issue. And obviously because of that this it breeds so much bad content, like it's just like
there's definitely people that
Why?
flood
Like,
social
because people
media.
feel like they have to.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't worry if it sucks, man. Like, you don't have to do that part. Like, if you're really good at a different part of it, just do that. Like, because that's awesome, and it's enough. Like, you don't need to be this all singing, all dancing, one man band, content creator, skater extraordinaire, like just like concentrate on doing and working towards your strengths. And like, sure, if you want to get good at the other stuff, that's fine, but like, there's no obligation to just like start putting out a load of shitty content, just
I do
because you
wonder if
feel like
this
you
is a
have to.
wave. Yeah, I wonder if it's a
um
wave or if it's here to stay. Like, because obviously in rollerblading, there was a period where if you were a sponsored skater, you had to enter major competitions. You had to enter like NIS and ASA and X Games and stuff like that. And like your sponsors put pressure on you as a pro skater to enter these events and do well because they were on TV. And then after that bubble died,
yeah,
the new one was you have to be a psycho. You have to throw yourself off roofs. You have to transfer handrails. You have to hurricane, like, you have to do drop rails. And then that bubble burst. And I'm like, is the social media one another bubble? Or is that just the norm from now on? That's it. You just need to do this. Or are people
yeah,
going to get fed up and move
sure,
on?
yeah. I'm really not sure. But I think there will be some kind of, there's always going to be shifts in like the way that content is presented and what people engage with and what they want to look at. Um, but yeah, hopefully it is just a phase and it goes another way. Like it's funny actually, the scene, this is another thing that I see noticeably in the scene at large is very much like skateboarding has already been through. There's two different sections of progression that are starting to split and go, both grow in their own way and but distance themselves from each other, and there's a little bit of overlap, and it's like the whole world skate official governing body
Yeah.
world is like, that's going like this, like, and then the core, you know scene is going like this, and they're growing and becoming two separate heads of the same beast, and it's becoming quite apparent. There's like two different schools of skaters and like new skaters that are coming up, and some of them are completely looking at the like world skate.
Yeah.
This is, I want to be a world champion. I want to, go and maybe be in the Olympics one day, or like whatever it is. It's that kind of official governing body. It's like easier for parents to recognize and like support, because they're like, oh, it's got this like officiality about it, and
Hmm.
there's a whole big group of skaters going that way. And also like that's what they aspire to. Like there's kids that like they look at that and they're like, that's what I want to be or do. I want to do a triple backflip and like be that. And then there's, the rest of it that's going, that's not cool, that's corny, like we want to be core and interesting and like break the rules, and like we don't want to wear a uniform, and like, and then it's so that's it's becoming more apparent, the divide, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens because I know that like in the States, Chris Edwards is doing like the NIST thing and trying to create a American team to go to the world skate thing. And they tried to get Blading Cup to be part of the NIST like competition series, and Blading Cup were like, no,
But yeah,
we're doing our own.
that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we're doing our own series. It's Blading Cup, and
Yeah.
we're doing it all over the world. We don't need to we don't need you piggybacking off it, and that's fair enough. Like,
It's like, that's like, that's like a record label going to an artist that's like already bought all their masters back and created their own label and being like, hey, do you want to put
Do you
this
want,
new
do you want,
album
do you
out
want,
under our
do,
label?
yeah, do you want a
Yeah,
deal? And you're like, no,
yeah, yeah.
no. Why,
Like
why did I put in all this work?
yeah, that's what that reminds me of, or like that's what that's equivalent to that. It's just not, it's not going to be. No one's going to go for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being said, there's merit to all of it. I just think it's important. The crossover is important, like the overlap. Like it's important that we get, on one hand, like some of the people that are coming that world champ, whatever, that they cross over and like go drop a street part because that's where the magic happens, like when you get that like super talented, crazy part skater kid who went and won the world championship and then like they go like, oh, I'm gonna go, skate some Cali rails, and then suddenly some crazy MBD happens on the famous spot, or like, like, and it'll that and likewise, I think some of the people from the more core side of it, like I love street skating, like I'm in the world, like I'm so invested in progressing street skating and just that core. I hate that word, but but I'm into it.
The more
And
we use that word, the worse it seems to get. Like I feel like
once again,
there's no longer any positive connotations from it whatsoever. It sounds
yeah,
really bad. Yeah.
but like it's important that a couple of the people, at least from that world, try to be involved in that other world to make it not suck as much.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, there
like
needs to be a certain degree of
they
I don't want to say credibility, but like balance. Yeah.
yeah, they need balance, and in order for balance to happen, you need some people to swallow their pride and stop being so douchey and gatekeepy about it, and be like, if you see a problem over there, you go tell them how to fix it, or like you go be a part of making it better. Like don't just sit over in your corner and go like, oh, look at those lamos. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody's gonna have to meet in the middle and like bridge the two together, and that's how the whole thing's gonna grow. It's like it's not gonna grow by separation and people like hating on each other. You're not gonna
Yeah.
get, you know. Um, so that's one thing that I think could be better, more, you know, the open-minded collaboration between people who are not necessarily from the same schools of thought.
And Jay Yoon and DJ Kang just have to start releasing street sections as well as all these flips and spins, and then we'll be like, whoa, whoa,
I mean,
whoa,
most definitely, yeah,
whoa.
they'll just be better than everyone.
These are the
If
boys.
you if you want like traditional progression in street skating, like if you want to see NBDs on Hollywood High, somebody fly them to Cali, get them to film a street section, and you'll see a Cab 7 TTS on Hollywood High, I'm sure. That's what I mean. That's how it happens. That's how this, that's how it happens in skateboarding. That's how it happens in BMX. Like this is what happens. So if you want it, somebody go do it. Tell them.
Yeah. My biggest
I'm
fear
not
is we lose them to free skiing. Have you seen those guys on skis?
I have, yeah, it's
You're
amazing.
like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Breathtaking.
Like I'm kind of obsessed with like freestyle skiing in the past like 4 or 5 years, and I'm like, man, you guys look just as good as the guys I watch in videos. Like the like you guys look just as stylish, and the spins look just as intricate. I'm like, that's okay. Like, why is no one taking notice of this? Why are you guys not getting picked up by ski sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, you could get paid skiing too, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think it's one of those.
Maybe.
Like, well, I mean, you can enter the X Games and the Olympics and stuff like that. So
And you make more bread than blading for
I don't
sure.
know. I feel like it's still really, really niche, like the actual like that
Really
version of
niche?
skiing. But
Wow.
there's definitely more opportunities, like as in with like big name sponsors.
Well, like you're in the Olympics, right? So like
Exactly,
if you're
exactly.
yeah,
So like you can get like mainstream sponsors, which you can't. well, let's be honest, it's not really a thing in skating. So yeah,
My
time will
dog just came.
tell. The dog Pinto's there.
Yeah, he's here. The boy. Here he is. Right.
Oh, oh. He's like, Dad, I need a pee. Take me out.
Oh, he's just been out. He's been out already.
Oh, that is a good face. Right. I've taken up enough of your time today, and I did promise that was going to be the last question. So I'll leave you two
Okay.
to enjoy the. Are you checking out today? Are you going home today?
We're checking out. We're gonna go to the beach first and then yeah, what are we gonna do after that? Just, I think there's like a little skate slash barbecue going on because some of the boys are in town from
Okay.
yesterday. And do that and then drive halfway home, stop over the night, and then drive the rest of the way the next day.
Nice.
Just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say before. I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, could mention this as a shameless plug, just a little teaser. Been making some clothes and some garments. I've been getting some samples made up and that. Um,
Oh, is this from
and
your private group thing that you
that's
started?
that's it. Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, and but yeah, I got a bunch of stuff going on with that. So through this group that I started, the Run It Up group, decided to make like a stage two of it, and yeah, making a clothing line. Got a bunch of samples. It's going to be legit. It's not it's not going to be some print to order. Like it's not going to be that. Like I'm going to make a bunch of sick clothes and I'm going to spend all my money on them and have them in boxes in my house and buy them. And the idea is uh, sell the clothing line limited amounts, and 100% of the money made from selling it is gonna fund scholarships for young aspiring skaters who might not be able to have the means to get about to events and do stuff. So fly them to events or collab with like Blading Camp, and I'm gonna buy like 5 tickets to Blading Camp and then sell these clothes once I've got enough to pay for flights for whatever. Then we'll choose people, donate them little like gift packages, scholarships to get about and do stuff, and maybe stuff like film a street section or like not necessarily just comps. It's going to be like, oh, this kid rips. I'd love to see him film the street section, get in contact with a filmer somewhere, sell a bunch of jackets and be like, if you want to see this kid go film a street section with this guy, buy the jacket, buy the hat, whatever. And then once that pot's full, then pay for the flight, get it done, and then
I like it. Nice. Okay.
yeah, you're feeling it. It's going to be called the Yen Project. Yen,
Why
YEN.
why yen?
Uh, it's actually kind of cryptic. Like you'll see when I release some stuff. I'm still in the sample stage at the moment. Like I've got loads of stuff embroidered and different cuts and different whatever. But yeah, there's a whole like ideology behind it. Like the word yen also, obviously, it's a currency, but it's also like an ancient version of the word yearn or like to want something, desire something, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're like helping people achieve their desires. And the tagline is kind of one of the taglines that I've got is cultural currency. So like because it's also a currency, but we're using this clothing line to build and create currency for people to use in the culture. And cultural currency obviously is its own saying to do with inside knowledge, or like things about, you can look into it. It will be explained when it's released anyway.
Right. Okay. All right.
Just thought I'd plug it a little bit. So like,
I love how you snuck that in there at the end. You were like, yeah, I don't really have it into. Oh, look, I've got this.
Yeah, no, I do. I just looked over there and I was like, oh yeah, I was meaning to do that. But yeah, hopefully a few people watch this and reach out to me in my DMs, and we can collab and make stuff happen.
Nice.
That's what we're trying to do. Yeah.
All right. Well, your day's just starting there. I've already nicked 2 hours of it. So enjoy what's left. Enjoy the beach. Enjoy the barbecue. And
yeah, will do.
No doubt I'll speak to you soon, or maybe in your next venture into Scotland, whenever that may be.
Oh, potentially sooner than you think. Who knows? When I'm back in the UK, my mum's in Newcastle, so might make the journey up. If we got time.
Your sister still lives in Edinburgh, right? No,
not anymore. She lives in Bristol now.
Yeah, she's dead to us. She's dead to us, Dan. She's dead to us. We don't know.
Okay.
Nope. Nope. That's fine. That's fine.
All right. But yeah, I'll hit you up if I come north. For sure.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, on that note, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks for your time, mate. Yeah, take it easy.
Right. Speak to you in a bit.
Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change.